I'm Andrew Collins from Jalopnik's Truck Yeah, and come hang out with us while we beat the crap out of this thing. We're here in Moab, Utah, where the hardest, corest, tire-tearingest, rock-crushingest Jeeps get tested every day of the week.
Our goal is to ring out their latest creation, the Jeep Renegade, a soft-road crossover based on an Italian compact car. We'll hit the same trails as its big brother, the Jeep Wrangler, to find out if this Jeep can really Jeep.
We're starting out at the absolute top of their off-road lineup. This is a Rubicon JK. It's got absolutely everything. Electronically disconnecting sway bar, locking axles, and a cooler full of beer you can probably hear sloshing around in the back. This thing is making short work of the Cocopelli Trail on some very excellent VF Goodrich tires.
Watch how easy the Wrangler makes this look. It's got more than enough traction, articulation, and ground clearance for a trail like this. It's not just in its element, the thing looks bored. On the other hand, the Renegade doesn't look quite so effortless. So let's get behind the wheel and check it out for ourselves.
Can the Renegade hold its own off-road? The short answer is yeah, it absolutely can. As someone who's driven on the Dakar Rally Course, Australasian Safari, and all over the American Southwest, I can tell you it may look like a dirt cow path on camera, but this is legit off-roading. As long as you pick a good line, we're climbing right through.
So full disclosure, this was a drive organized by Jeep, and they only brought the Renegade Trailhawk to play with. Trailhawk is the most capable Renegade you can buy, with a slight lift, bumpers that sacrifice a little aerodynamics for better approach and departure angles, skid plates to protect the undercarriage, and a low-range crawl ratio that's hugely helpful on these steep rock scrambles.
Now, we don't have the system activated right now, so we're going to see how it climbs up without it. This little rocky obstacle here. A little bit left. Let's see if we can do it. And, well, surprisingly, we scurry right up that obstacle in regular old four-wheel drive high range. So you can't buy the Trailhawk in a stick because Jeep knows no one's gonna buy it. And that's kind of unfortunate because the transmission is sort of the only fun police we're really having to contend with off-road here.
The Renegade's been making steady progress out here on the trail, but it's really working hard to earn that trail-rated badge. I gotta say, I would not have attempted some of these obstacles with this Jeep if I were driving alone. But here we are, charging ahead, and nothing's come loose yet. To learn a little more about the inspiration behind the Renegade, we caught up with Jeep designer Mark Allen at the top of Moab's Dome Plateau.
You know, it's very connected to the Wrangler side of the family, but I call it the fun size Wrangler. We wanted to impart a piece of Wrangler into everything that we do. Perfect example is probably the My Sky roof panels. We would never have done that if we didn't have Wrangler. We wouldn't even have that thought that people want to be inside, outside, open that vehicle all the way up. I love even just the colors that we're sprinkling through there. Very Wrangler inspired color palette to it. As you see, we have some pretty crazy things here. Honestly, I don't know that there's a lot of interest in Renegade with the crowd that's in town here this week. They love Wranglers, and I respect that. But they have families, they have kids going to college. Renegades are just now hitting dealers, and more than anybody, I think, in the world, I'm curious to see who picks them up.
The Renegade wears the Jeep costume well. But when you're out on the trail, you need substance to back that Wrangler-inspired styling.
I don't think the regular 1.4 Renegade would make it through here, and the front-wheel drive would certainly not have a chance. But the vehicle does maintain its credibility as long as the Trailhawk trim exists. For a trail like this, the Renegade actually kind of shines because you can't go very fast anyway, just because of so many blinds and so many rock gardens that come out of nowhere. So the short wheelbase, super helpful. It's got just enough ground clearance to get over everything you need to worry about. And there's enough power, but it's not going to get away from you. So we've been getting our kidneys rocked on the trail all day, and now we're finally heading home on road, which is kind of where the Renegade comes into its own. Now let's be real, it's completely where the Renegade comes into its own. And on the way back from a day hanging out in the woods in the sun, this is a good thing, man. If we were in a Wrangler right now, we'd be getting kicked around by the wind, we'd be bumping along, we'd probably be on choppier tires. Renegade, pretty relaxed acceleration. It's pretty flat. It's a little on the stiff side, but it's comfortable, it's quiet, visibility's good, and it's a pretty nice place to eat a few miles.
The Renegade takes Jeep's essence and distills it to a car that more people can afford, and better yet, more people would be happy to drive every day. It's really the same idea they were going for with the Compass and the Patriot, but this time they've succeeded at making the end result a lot sexier.
A base model with all-wheel drive and a manual transmission starts at $20,000. But the enthusiast choice is the Trailhawk, which runs from about 26 to 33 grand.
So here's what I'm thinking about the 2015 Jeep Renegade. It's not an old school Jeep, it's a new school Jeep. And maybe that's a good thing. It's not going to keep up with a Wrangler, but you'll be fine hanging out with your buddies in their full-size SUVs on just about any trail that you're going to hit casually off-roading. Better than that, it's a great daily driver and gets pretty reasonable fuel economy. So I'm not afraid to say this Italian-based lifted hatchback does America proud.